As you mentioned earlier that in your reading module you skimmed your paragraphs. So do you think that it worked well for your reading module?
Yes, I definitely agree with that, because if you think that sentence,
Yeah.
you have to manipulate that word.
Variation of the
yes,
word.
Sir.
Yeah.
And for that we did word building.
True. Yeah.
Yes,
we
sir.
did it over in the
yes,
classroom.
sir,
I
in the
think.
classroom,
Yeah, we did it.
and that was something that I had heard of for the first time.
Yeah.
Everyone was making words, although I thought it didn't make any sense. So he had the that notion that there is some person sitting there who knows him, and whenever he comes across his paper, he just
He's
puts
biased.
a cross
He's
mark,
biased.
and he is biased, and he thinks that this person should not come to our country. And this is not that word building is something like rocket science.
Yeah.
This is totally a different ball game.
True.
So when he came to Sir Rafi, and Sir Rafi gave him a paper and said that write something for me.
Yeah.
And when he wrote, Sir said even the person giving you 5 or 6 is giving you more. Because he was making silly mistakes like I did when I came here. So this is going to improve your marks,
Excellent.
and you have to keep these in mind. Otherwise, you are not going to achieve high marks.
Excellent.
How you practice your reading section during your practice?
For the reading section, I would like to mention that people were sitting here, the students, and they were taking the reading exam. And I mentioned to Sir Rafi that I also want to take that exam. And he told me that there is a site, IELTS. Liz, I think.
IELTS up.
IELTS, yes, sir. I will send you the link. You give me your number and you practice it from there. And I practiced it there from there. Approximately on that side, 11 exercises are mentioned there.
Yeah.
And I practiced all those 11 exercises. And for the rest of the reading section, I downloaded an application from Play Store that was also for the IELTS section.
True.
It had reading section with different level of difficulties. It had one with the beginners, the next one was for the medium level, and the third one was a bit difficult.
True.
But keeping that in mind, as I mentioned earlier, the thing that I just picked up from this from one lecture, the subject and the information tally to tally that, and for not given to tally the subject, whether the subject is given in that passage or not.
Yeah, true.
Although the information might be correct, might be wrong. But if that subject is not there, then you are definitely going to put not given, because the person they are talking about, or the thing they are talking about, because it could be anything, it could be any person, it could be any place. If that's not mentioned there, then you are going to place not given. True. And this was the thing that I think helped me the most in the reading section, because although I was practicing before, but I did not know the reason whether although they were right. I think that the answers were right, and I did not know the reason why they were right.
True.
To be 100% sure, you had to know the reason. So
the
that
standard.
What's the reason that every time when I switch from one paragraph to another paragraph, my answer should be right? To make that sure, you had to know the reason.
True.
And the reason was that I mentioned earlier, that was delivered in the lecture. To tally the subject and tally that information for true and false, and for not given, you had to look at the subject.
How simple that is.
This is just 3 things. And that was for your whole of reading section. And for fill in the blanks, I had that concept of fill in the blanks that was taught to us in the school days. Just look at the paragraph over there and put the exact word from there, and you are quite good. But this was not the case in that IELTS. Most of, although some of the words were exact that were mentioned here, but sometimes the statement was not exactly the same. You had to manipulate the words. You had to change the words according to the scenario. Although the information would be the same.
True.
Information is definitely going to be the same, and this is going to be mentioned in that paragraph that is over there. But sorry. But the thing is that to make sense of that sentence, you have to manipulate that word.
Variation of the word.
And for that we did word building.
True. Yeah.
Yes,
we
sir.
did it over in the
Yes, sir,
classroom. I
in the
think.
classroom,
Yeah, we did
and that was something that I had heard of for the first time.
it. Yeah.
Everyone was making words, although I thought it didn't make any sense.
Yeah.
I have never heard that word, but
Yeah.
sir said it's true,
Yeah.
because word building is something that you have to create your own words just
True.
according to the scenario you are given,
True. True.
and this is it for the fill in the blanks.
True.
And this is not that word building is something like rocket science,
Yeah.
or you are going to think of something, you can imagine that it's going to be quite complicated or
Yeah.
complex words, etc.
Yeah.
This is not the case, because these are going to be simple words.
Yeah.
Just like, for example, if the passage has written beautiful there,
Yeah.
you had to put beauty in the fill in the
Yeah.
blanks.
Beauty,
Just
beautify, beautification, like that.
Just to manipulate the word to
Yeah.
make sense of that sentence. Because if you
Excellent.
are going to put beautiful there,
Yeah.
and the sentence was not according to that word,
Yeah.
your answer is going to be wrong. Although you would say that I had put
Yeah.
the exact right word there and
Yeah.
I have scored quite well.
Yeah.
But when you see, you would see your result, you
Yeah.
would be taken aback.
True.
You would say, what did happen? Although
Yeah.
I had done quite well.
Yeah.
And sir also mentioned a case of his pupil
Yeah.
that was
Yeah. True. True.
sir said that he was quite fluent in each module, reading, writing, speaking and listening. But when it came to writing, he was at the most scoring 5, 6.
Yeah. True.
He was just lying there, and when he
And you
was,
also believe that,
Yes, sir.
that the
IELTS examiner
is biased.
yes
no?
sir, he believed that the problem is there. He was right, because
Yeah.
although he had the right to believe he
Yeah,
was right, because
yeah.
if someone is scoring 8 and 9 in all 3 modules,
Yeah,
how
true.
could he fall to 5 or 6 in
Yeah,
writing
in
section?
writing,
Because if someone is quite good at understanding English, that is proven through reading.
Yeah.
If someone is quite good at speaking, that is proven through speaking section.
Yeah.
And listening as well,
Yeah.
then he has the grip on the English language.
True. True. Please.
Why he is falling that much behind in the
Yeah.
writing section?
Yeah.
So he had the that notion that there is some person sitting there who knows him, and whenever he comes across his paper, he just
He's
puts
biased.
a cross
He's
mark,
biased.
and he is biased, and he thinks that this person should not come to our country. He had that reason to believe that, because
Yeah.
it was not happening for the first time with him.
Yeah.
It was happening again and again, and he was quite, you can say that, stubborn, that there is someone who has personal grudges against him. So when he came to Sir Rafi, and Sir Rafi gave him a paper and said that, write something for me.
Yeah.
And when he wrote, Sir said even the person giving you 5 or 6 is giving you more. Because he was making silly mistakes, like I did when I came here, because my T was not matching with my T in the next sentence, my I was not matching with my I in the next sentence.
Yeah.
So sir said, how is the examiner going to
Yeah.
understand what have you written?
Yeah.
Because he is going to tell you your letters or
Yeah.
words with your previous words.
Yeah.
So
True.
that was the same case with him. He was not capitalizing the words where he was starting the sentence. He was not putting the
Yeah.
question mark where the question mark was.
Even the period
required.
was missing.
Yes, sir.
Period was missing.
Period was missing.
How? What an
And there is also people make mistakes by writing that these are silly mistakes. I also commit that.
Yeah.
They put the period
Yeah.
close to the next sentence,
Yeah. Yeah.
although it belongs to the previous sentence. The sentence that was finished, it was the previous one.
Yeah.
The next one is starting.
Yeah.
So the period should be close to the previous
Yeah.
sentence.
Yeah.
Although you, in your own thoughts, you would say that I had written quite well
Yeah.
and I had done quite well, but
Yeah.
this is a mistake.
Yeah.
And it's a test of technicalities, as
True.
Sir Rafi has already mentioned.
Yeah.
So they are going to look for these mistakes. There is not, I think, a great much of, you can say that, attention only on grammar.
Yeah.
Although there are marks for the grammar as well, but there is another thing, that is lexical resource.
Yeah.
What's
True.
your vocab?
True.
How much is your grammatical range? This is another thing.
Yeah.
And there is another thing, that how much is the punctuation that you have, you know about the technicalities.
True. True.
So this is going to improve your marks.
Excellent.
And you have to keep these in mind. Otherwise, you are not going to achieve high marks.
Excellent.
So I hope I answered the question.
Thank you. Please.
As you mentioned earlier that in your reading module you skimmed your paragraphs. So do you think that it worked well for your reading module?
Yes, I definitely agree with that, because if you think that you are going to complete all these 3 passages within 1 hour, I do not think that this is going to happen if you are going to read each and every line.
Yeah.
Because while sitting in your home and practicing for the test, this is different. But sitting in the examination room and with all the pressure on your shoulders and on your mind, that what's going to happen, and this is my only chance, and that I had to bounce on it.
Yeah.
So this is totally a different ball game.
True.
So
ਤੁਰ ਗਏ ਯਾਰ ਦਿਲਾਂ ਦੇ ਜਾਨੀ ਵਤਨ ਚੁੱਕ ਮੁਹਾਰਾ ਉਜੜੀ ਬਸਤੀ ਯਾਰੋ ਨਜ਼ਰੀ ਆਵੇ ਕੰਡ ਕੀਤੀ ਜਦ ਯਾਰਾਂ